Pretty controversial subject, music. There could possibly be some spillovers. And guys, we're just trying to say from now, here on in, it's not going to be one, this is not going to be one session. The music thing, obviously, by the fact that you guys have hung about for the last hour, shows that there's a lot to say. There's a lot of input. There's going to be a lot of ideas, different takes on this whole subject. So, you know, we just want everyone to be real and raw as we possibly can. We've touched on the music thing a few weeks ago when we did it here in the studio. We just touched it. We didn't kind of go in. So we want to start to go deeper into the whole concept of music. Yeah. The title, we've got it there as, is music an influencer? Is it still just a form of expression? Or is it just another money spinner? It's uncanny really, because today we're in the studio and there was a real kind of jamming session going on. Good music vibes and everything going on, and now we're doing this talk about it, right? So I just want to hear from everybody here, make it really interactive. There's no rules as such, but look, we're all adults here. Everyone, please just be respectful of each other's views. You know, no sort of jumping in, shouting over each other. Let's just, you know, deal with ourselves accordingly. Raise a hand, a thumbs up if we want to speak, and let's just get into this, yeah? So I'm going to ask JP. JP's here with me. Music. Where are we? You know, music, they say, is the food of love.
Well, for me, music is it's everything. I think it's physical, mental, spiritual.
Yeah.
I think like the effects of music. This one's a hard one, isn't it? Because I always ask myself, is it that music affects people, or does a person still have the free will to do what he likes despite the influence of the music?
Okay.
You understand? Because I know for me, in the past, depending on what I'm trying to do in that moment, there's a type of music I may put on.
Okay.
But now that I'm older, it doesn't seem to have the same influence that it once did.
So it doesn't, you're saying it doesn't matter that much then? You can just do, yeah?
It's a hard one.
The type of music or the kind of, yeah?
It's a hard one. Let's say, for instance, I'm trying to romance. It's a certain type of music I'm going to put on, the slow jams. And the baby making music. You understand what I'm trying to say? To set the...
to set the mood,
to
the
set
tone.
The mood. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I'll be lying to say that it doesn't influence, because if I'm now kissing up a thing and it's just bare gun music, it's
not gonna work, is it?
It's not gonna work. You understand what I'm trying to say?
All right.
She'll be like, no, you need to set the mood. You understand? So, but then at the same time, majority of music is about love.
Okay. The majority. Why? Okay.
The majority of songs are love songs, generically over the board.
Mm-hmm.
So if it does have that influence, the world should now reflect love.
Okay, but it doesn't, though, does it?
It doesn't.
So we just hit that word, the influence bit. Then that.
Yeah, I'm torn on this.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. While you mull that over, I think that's a good lead in. Yeah, it's a kind of very basic platform to get in on. I want to ask Andrew, because we've had a chat about this over the years, hasn't it, Andrew? And I think you know, there's a lot of different connotations, a lot of different viewpoints on music. You know, bearing in mind, Andrew, I also wants to go in, man, deep, seriously, because it's been stroked before. You know what I mean? So let's see what you got to say on it, bro.
Yeah. So first things is music is it's powerful, very powerful. And I think we can all say that and admit that it's a powerful thing. So not even getting into the rights and the wrongs and the opinions, but giving it its due respect. Music is a powerful thing. Like, no one can deny that. If there's one thing we can all agree on, is that it's very, very powerful. Makes you cry, make you angry, can make you sad, can make you happy. You know, so we know that there's a power behind music. And it's a hard one, Shola, right? Because there's so much in the reservoir on music, but it's like, what direction do we want to go? Because like there's so much on this. There's so much on this, and
that's what I was saying. That's what I said. This ain't gonna be. It's not just gonna be a one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a step into a certain zone. I think there's gonna be different filters. They're gonna
like maybe if there was a question, even if there was like a question, you know, but off the cuff, music is so vast. There is literally endless, you know, points and information on like on music. You know, if you're asking about my influence on my life, why I always rate JP, he's done it again. He's touched on something that I've, you know, thought about most times. So when my mind wasn't that strong, music would influence me heavier.
Yeah.
It's not that the music fully changes us or makes us do anything. But if the mind is in a place where it's very susceptible
and vulnerable,
and very easily influenced, that's not a music thing only. That's a weak mind thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So as JP said, I've been on little moves back in the day when if I'm driving to do something mad, like someone's gonna get moved to, I'm not listening to Mary Poppins.
Exactly, yeah.
But I will still lick off man's head while listening to Mary Poppins though. But Mobb Deep will make the licking off man's head worse. So in other words, the music influenced me, but it didn't stop me from doing what I was gonna do, JP.
Yeah.
So JP, if you're gonna do a madness with a gal and then rock music comes on, bro, you're still gonna beat, bro. But it's just not gonna set the tone like little Keisha Cole and them things. Yeah. So music is powerful, but it can't. It's not got the power to wrap my mind. That's me though. That's me. I'm speaking for me.
Andrew, let me just jump in. That's you saying that as of now. But remember you said before that when your mind was possibly weaker, then it could have some kind of different influence. You see what I'm saying? So from experience now, you got to that point where you know what? I'm not gonna let this hit me like this.
That's it. I study the mind, surely. You know this, bro. I can listen to music and I research it. I can dissect it. I can allow my mind to be engrossed in that, but I still got to cleanse my mind certain times. Because I'm dealing with young people. I got to listen to this drill music now, right? The kill music. So before though, listen, Charlotte, I work in a crew, bro. I'm on contract working in like 5 different crews. So I'm seeing these kids when listening on the YouTube in the classroom, bro, they lose their mind. When, bro, Charlotte, they literally lose, like, man are jumping up like, pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, okay, like, cool. So that shows, man, music is no game.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, thanks for that, Andrew. You put a few things into perspective there. I'm going to come to you in a minute now because I saw you were having a good laugh, there, and some of the stuff there. I'm coming back to you. I'll see you, sir. Tim, are you there, bro? Or is it Tiger? I can't hear you, bro. You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Yeah. So I know, we've had a little chat, through the week about certain things. I know you're a music man yourself, yeah? Anything to say on what you've heard so far, bro?
Andrew's right about what he was saying about music is powerful because it does really affect your mood. Depending on what you listen to. I mean, when I was younger, obviously I used to listen to a lot of jungles, so it would affect my mood. I'd be high.
Yeah.
Garage, R&B, hip hop, especially if you're listening to Mobb Deep, it'll get you in that kind of zone. If you're going to the gym, it's useful because it will get you into that zone, like you feel like you're pumped up, you can do anything.
Yeah. You
can climb a mountain or whatever, or a wall, or so I'll agree with him with that. It's funny, I think I was watching some YouTube video, I think it was a few months back they were talking about music and how it affects your mind state. And depending on the what the speed of it, it affects your emotions.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So as I said, there's a lot. I mean,
that's my input.
Okay, so you brought some technicalities in there, which is good. Now, sorry, before I come to Jade, Lady Jade, can we have some input from you, please?
Okay.
You're looking too relaxed here.
I'm just thinking, like, I agree with what like JP and what Andrew says. I think like it has a heavy influence on that. That's why they say that basic. But it's like anything though, games, films, music, these things, they can have a influence on somebody that is not how do I say, they haven't got that ability to reason yet within the, do you get what I mean? So I would say that with younger people, or even I think with adults, I would say maybe they can be influenced by it, but then I think it's more of a choice. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas with young people, if they're drawn to if they're maybe like put in the environment where certain music is being played, they can be heavily influenced by it, because they may think that whatever's being said through this music that is correct, if you get what I'm trying to say. It's the right thing to do.
Okay.
But then
all right. So you've given a lot of theoretical responses there, Jade. How does it affect you? What's your response? When you hear certain types of music? What classifications of music that move you in a certain way?
So then for me, it's not necessarily music. When I was younger, it was never really about the words of music. It was always about the beat. Like, so I would like what was it Tim? He was saying jungle. So I used to like garage. I used to like funky house. I used to like reggae. I used to like, it's all about the
beat. The rhythm. Yeah. Okay.
More than words. So like, 'cause I remember when I was young, there was some song that I used to like. I didn't even understand it. I remember my dad used to page me, and I didn't understand why. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think, you know, young people, they can become influenced by things that they don't really necessarily understand.
But that doesn't. I mean, the influence part we're talking about, it doesn't necessarily have to be music, doesn't it? Young people can be influenced by anything. It doesn't specifically have to be.
Film, games, all of that. And then I was just about to say, you see, like when we were saying about certain types of music. So, for instance, in films, if you watch a scary movie, you're not gonna have some free flowing, like some pretty music in the background, are you? You're gonna have something that is going to evoke emotion. A lot of music is to evoke emotion. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah.
I think most music does that, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Jade. Venice, can we have a word from you, please?
Yeah. I kind of agree with what everyone's saying. My thing is it that it influences you, or does it enhance what's already there? So, for instance, if you're already an aggressive person, and you play like a song that's got like a hard beat, that's just gonna amp what you like.
What's already in you,
kind of thing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So, for instance, I drive fast. I drive extremely fast. I love it. So, but when I turn on a certain type of music, it just amps me to just drive fast. So I think that's just. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it just amplifies what's already there. So yeah.
Okay. All right. We're warming up. Okay, Angela, welcome back again. I think we had a bit of a kind of suggestion box on this, what we were gonna say from last week. Can I ask you then? Okay, music. I mean, we've touched on the influences and we mentioned expression, right? But in terms of just music now being another money spinner, what would you say to that? I mean, you know, a lot of people, you know, in the music game now think, right, well, I'm going to get there, I'm going to record, I'm going to do this, do that. What do that? Is it because it's a gift, or is it because they're seeing like maybe peer pressure? It's something that they're alluding to because of what they've seen, you know, in terms of like role models. Do you think it's based on that, or it's just from the raw gift that people would go into?
I think I mean, music is supposed to be a form of art form, But I think I mean, if you look at talent, the industry would have you believe that, you know, there's a few people around that are talented. And when you really check it out, talent is, there's talent in abundance, but the music industry is a business and it's what sells.
Yeah.
And the industry perfectly understands, I think, how to influence people because of the culture we have now, which is the idol worship of the celebrities. But I think that the music industry are pumping certain things, and there's been you know, recent controversy with, you know, artists coming out and saying and doing things that they wouldn't give to their own family or their own children. So we know that music is influential, and I think, as well as Black people, music is it's a vibrational frequency that we pick up on, and I think that's why it affects everybody. But I think that we are predispositioned somewhere. That I've heard about the melanin and the frequencies and vibrations that it actually sort of penetrates us. So that's why I think
But can I just ask you about when you mentioned about the melanin? I mean, you're talking about like the rhythms and the patterns then that you're saying are mainly attributed to Black people. Is that what you're saying? But isn't that for all? Isn't that for all of us?
I think I went to a lecture and they were trying to explain, which I picked up a little bit, but it was something around that the melanin it actually sort of affects us. So the frequencies, vibrations, and things like that, it can affect us. But I think music can be used. It can be used. It's deeper than we know, and it can affect our subconscious mind. And there's things like mind control and things like that that we can be affected by that we don't know. So yeah, it's a dangerous game if it's in the wrong hands. That's what I'd say.
Sure. I mean, just to pick on what you said, there's an old African proverb. You know, it talks about not watching the person doing the dance, but look out for the person beating the drum. Yeah, so the rhythm is whatever's picked up from the person behind the scenes beating that drum. Yeah, and then we see the end result of the actual dance. Nana, welcome back again, sir. I know you have plenty to say.
Thank you. I was kind of laughing because I got to admit I have to agree with what JP and Andrew were saying. So, like, particularly for me around relationships, or if I'm gonna go and see a girl, like in my car, I always take my iPod with me and I put my auxiliary cable in. So when I'm gonna go and see a girl, I'm always playing slow jams because I'm getting myself set up.
Just set up.
And then what I would do is that when I go to a house, you know, I'll just go onto my Apple iPhone, look at genres. So for me, it influences me because it's like, you know what, it's gonna be a nice night, but I can't be playing no rap or drill music. I've got to be playing Pretty Ricky or some nice Rick Ross to set the mood. Play Ashanti, you know, Ja Rule, you know, get him nice and sweet. That's just me. I remember, however, on another side, when I was in my final year of uni, and I needed to do my dissertation, I was listening to opera. I was listening to Beethoven and to Mozart because it got me focused to write my dissertation. So I think the question is very much broad because expression is music's how we communicate. A lot of people, how they communicate.
It's a language. It's a language in itself, isn't it?
It's a language, and a lot of people use it to communicate about their general life. Some it's about how they feel about somebody else. Money spinner, it could be a profession for them. You know, the influence. You know, we know it influences a lot of, you know, young people, but it depends on your cohort. So with what Andrew was saying, I've worked with young people as well. And a lot of the time they're all listening to drill, and I have to ask them, what's the reason why you listen to it? Oh, because every man's listening to it. No, why are you listening to drill? You know, and they're not. Some are able to give me a clear answer, and some are not. Some just jump on the hype.
Okay, the ones that give you the clear answer. Sorry, no, the ones that give you the clear answer. What are they saying? What's their take? What's the reason? What's their reason behind that?
So the answers that I've been given, so a lot of them is like, well, it's the in thing, like man be a driller, you know, all my boys are doing drilling as well. You know, but some actually go and say, I'm actually talking about my reality, and drill is the way for me to express that. Do you know what I mean? And so I kind of listen to both sides in terms of some who are just jumping on it because they want to, but others, this is my reality and this is the only way I can express it. So if I say, then what about another driller? Nah, I can't. If I'm always feeling angry now, how can you tell me not to be using drill? Do you know what I mean? So like it's wide. I mean, there's so many angles you can attack this question. Yeah, it is, but yeah, that's just it.
All right, thanks for that. Okay, there's an artist. There's a certain artist, Nigel. Nigel, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Good. So, you've heard some of the points made now. I mean, you, from what I understand, a little I know that you're a music-minded man. You're an artist in your own right. Is that right? What do you say in terms of what you've heard so far?
What I've heard so far, everybody's got their own taste for music, but music is extremely powerful. Boy, it drives culture. It determines how people dress, how they act.
Sure.
The kind of people they like. It controls their actions, their fashion, controls everything. You know, especially black music and hip hop. You know, it controls how the boys act, what they wear.
Sure.
I think it's really deadly. It's
very
powerful.
What type of music? What type of music is it that you? I mean, I hear you're a recording artist. What sort of music do you put out?
I listen to all sorts of music. I do a lot of gospel rap and try to do other stuff as well.
Okay.
And I make more and more videos than audios.
Right.
But I listen to all sorts, but there's certain music I can't listen to because it's really dark. Like the drill music is absolutely shocking. You know, some of the things they say and do on there. And I think that's a poor excuse when they say, I'm trying to express myself and I'm going through this. It's an excuse to be in that realm and do what they want to do. Because that's what that music allows for that, you see. You know, it gives them that platform to just be like that and say those things. They can get away with it in that, you see. So it's a shame that young people's controlled by that, really, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel so. We're here, obviously, giving this exchange. JP, come in, sir.
Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me perfectly?
Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me perfectly?
Yes. So there's an experiment that they've done with crystals.
It's getting deep now because what I realized. So there's an experiment that they've done with crystals.
The crystal forms beautifully.
And it talks about how a crystal's formed.
You play another type.
You play a certain type of music. The crystal forms beautifully. If you play another type of music, it's distorted. Very ugly. And they said that this is the effect that it has on us. Now, for me, I'm going to have to go a bit deeper because...
for instance, when you're in church...
praise and worship.
Change the spiritual atmosphere
you're in.
Certain faiths don't allow music.
Certain faiths allow music.
You cannot have music.
Forbidden.
You make no form of music.
You cannot not make no form of music. Maybe you can beat a drum. And
sorry, say that, Marvin. I can't hear you.
Sorry, say that, Marvin. I can't hear you.
He's getting feedback, man.
He's getting feedback.
It's only because somebody's got their mic unmuted. It's because somebody's got the mic unmuted and there's a delay. There's a delay, you see. They need to.
Marvin.
I think JP's frozen as well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you lot. JP, I was getting some back delay, bro.
Yeah, I know. We turned that off.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
All right, cool.
Yeah, hold on.
So like I was saying, that there's certain faiths that music is absolutely forbidden.
Yeah.
Now the reason why it's forbidden is because there's power in words. So I produce music. A lot of people don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so when you make music, you are trying to portray something. So literally, if we're gonna go into like Juju and Obia and certain people have made contracts with their music.
Yeah.
And they said, I'm going to make this music to destroy lives. Now, what's happening with us as society, we're feeding into it, every one of us. Even the thought of, I want to go and see a girl, so I need to put slow jams on. Now, if you listen to the words of the slow jams, some of them are real filthy words. Some of them are, they go in, but that's the thing that's amping you up, saying, yeah, you know, this is the move I'm going to do. You understand? Now, when we talk about drill, and we talk about hip hop, and we talk about certain things, I love what Nigel said, because Nigel said that is a poor excuse of expression. It's a very poor excuse, because I used to actually spit before. Now, here's what's funny. I knew I couldn't spit about good things, because I know people
they don't bother with that. Yeah, it don't sell, does it? Yeah.
So now what happens, especially now with drill music, what happens? There's something called certified. So we frown upon people in drill who are not doing what they say they're rapping about. Guys, he's moist. Oh, he's fake. You understand? So now, if I'm rapping about stabbing people, I have to now go out,
follow through,
and stab people. And now I talk about in my lyrics, I spit what I do. You understand? Now, when we start talking about, if we're going to talk about this, we're talking like it's innocent about the slow jams, but the amount of babies that have been created. I remember there was a particular artist, and he said that his vision was to take, when people listen to his music, he wants them to lose their virginity. That was his thing. That was the contract he made. So whatever he made, whatever spirit he made the contract with, that was the contract. He said in his mind, when people listen to this music, they are going to lose virginities. Now that's a powerful statement. So I think it comes down to what's your angle with music, and you have to be honest with yourself. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because when he said it, she drives fast, so she listens to a certain music that's going to make her drive. Now, what we do now, we've got decision making now. So it's not as big as music now, because we've got decision making. Because in that driving fast, if she crashes, does she blame the music, or was she in control? This is now why I said it doesn't have the influence that it did once upon a time. So anyone that kind of knows me, I have music because of clients. I don't listen to music and I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. I've had a TV for a long time.
Well, discipline, bro. All right. Good. Now, all right. Bring that point in. See, okay, you just mentioned it there. You select what you take in. Right. We did a program. I don't know if Andrew remembers some years ago. Andrew, you there?
That's my family, right here, my bro.
Yeah. So do you remember? Do you remember a thing where we did a little gig about a good few years ago now called? We did a play on the word entertainment. Right. Entertainment, and we were saying we you know, words powerful. We were kind of suggesting does entertainment in general, not just music, is one allowing themselves to be detained for entry? Right? Is one allowing themselves? Is one opening themselves up to be entered by something else? Just as JP has said there, to be entered by another spirit, that will kind of influence you and move you. Look, what Venice said a few minutes ago about when she puts on a certain. Sorry, Venice, just using that template there. That when you put a certain kind of music on, you drive fast, as JP says there. So if you did, God forbid, you crash, are you going to blame the music or you as a person? Obviously, bad driving.
No, I always blame myself. Every accident I've had, I blame myself. but I said that the music enhances what's already there. So
yeah, we're just
like,
we're just using that as a concept. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this whole thing of like what JP said there in terms of what you let in, what somebody lets in. And I follow and say, look, is music then part of entertainment? Is it a force? Is it something that we're allowing in to then influence and move us in a certain way?
100%. Music is a medium. And if you understand mediums, that's where we get spiritualists from. They are mediums. They interact with a medium. And that's why we call them a mediator.
It's in between.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So the musician
basically,
is a mediator. He's mediating. So I don't like the word emotion. So he's mediating your emotions to play a certain remedy or a rhythm or a output.
Sure.
Do you understand? Now remember, we have choice. I can make anything under the sun. Now I decide I'm going to. So in music, they call it's a weird saying. You've got dark keys, and you've got happy keys. So certain music, no, hey bro, I need that more darker. So he has an agenda behind it. Now, when we go even deeper, there's so our brains are worked a certain way. So there's certain subliminal messages where if you play certain things backward, your brain picks it up. So you have to understand what's the agenda in hiding that in music. Do you understand? I've hid that in entertainment. Do you understand? It means I have something that I'm trying to achieve. We just said, okay, I'm driving a car. So again, Venice, forgive us. And I want to drive faster.
Yeah.
So I put on a certain type of music. See how weird that whole
scenario.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
I want to drive faster, and this music
so
is
this is what's gonna
so
make
I
that
made
happen.
a choice knowing what I'm doing.
What it's gonna do.
I'm going to a girl's house. I know what I'm going to do. So I'm picking what's going to aid me to do this.
Okay, let me ask you now, JP. So what is that person in that? Is that your reason then for Jesus said there, look, you don't listen to music? Yeah, that's what you said, yeah?
I don't
unless it's for your business
for the truth. The influence it has on my subconscious is anarchy. So for instance, if I sleep to a certain type of music, the type of dreams I have. Well, here's what's funny. When I'm listening to praise and worship, and I sleep to it, I'm peaceful. And I wake up uplifted. Go, something in this now. Try the same experiment. Listen to some Chris Brown. I'm doing all sorts in my dreams. You understand? Like madness. Then I say, let me try another night because I'm feeling uneasy. Let me put on some easy listening. All of a sudden, I'm feeling tranquil. You understand what I'm trying to say? If I'm in the gym and I want to lift something heavy, say, yo, I need the most aggressive music. But then certain music's too aggressive. I say, no, this ain't the kind of what I'm looking for right now. Because this is too aggressive.
Okay.
So we make decisions. And we use the music to enhance them decisions. No, I believe a bit of us knowingly does it because it's intoxicating like a drug. And now we're in that cycle of, I love what Nigel says. Yeah, this is the music I like. This is my no, we learned something while listening to that music it's influencing us. So we're now addicted to that influence.
Okay, all right, cool. Thanks for that, Jacob. I mean, again, there's a lot of openness to this. Just as what Andrew said before, it's so vast, so wide. So we've made it like that deliberately because I want people to actually pinpoint a certain area, a particular area, and we can go in and ride on that. But Andrew, before I come back to you, Marvin, sorry, I think we lost you before. You were trying to say something. We had quite a bit of feedback. You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, that's better, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I agree with a lot of what everyone's saying. That music's like a drug, isn't it? And they always talk about the vibrations of sounds and how it affects us. Hand in hand with the image,
Yeah.
the storyline is captivating. We're talking about how when we get older, it has less influence over us. But we've got to think about the young minds. And I don't think it's your background. I just think it's just a young mind, the crew that you're, you know, the group that you're hang around with. You could be, you know, goth, guns. They've all got their music. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it influences them all. That, you know what I mean? When One Direction came out, or what's the man there, Justin Bieber, them man they're doing the same thing. It's just not aimed at the destruction as for us. You understand? And we could talk about, you know, all the conscious rappers that have a lot of skill that don't make it because that's not the message they're trying to push. So they throw money at us talking about, you know, we've lost the essence of our music. Our music, we used to properly talk about our real struggles. We forgot what our struggles are. You know what I mean? We think the struggle is going up the road and linking a peck and mute when I'm from ghetto, or you get what I'm saying? Like, we forgot the real essence of our struggle. So our music now is just not from the soul again. You understand?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Marvin.
And you know, along with and combined with the vibrations and the sounds and everything.
Yeah.
If you're seeing something destructive, I can speak from a young person, my era, like 50 Cent had a big influence on us lot. When 50 Cent came out, you know what I mean? Every man had their gun. That's what he brought to the table. You know what I mean? Like get rich, die trying, this gun, that gun, it influenced us all. Biggie came with 10 crap commandments, everyone wants to shot crap. Like, with the image, the money and the promotions that they put behind this music to destroy us, it worked. So there's obviously something in it. You understand? It's not about strong. I hear some people talking about, where it starts from home and bro. Our youths are being, as man said, when you're watching TV, their minds are being penetrated with destructional thoughts. And you have an underlining TV with the visuals, music, you know what I mean? Audio, that it come on, bro. It's clear as day. And as you said, it clearly influences you. It clearly adjusts your mood. I hear man say I have to play some music. That's drugs, blood. That's like a drug. I have to play some music. But I have to go out. And then the whole, it's definitely what we put on top of it. The lyrics, what we put on top of it, and the image combined it, definitely.
Okay. All right, thanks, Marvin. Andrew,
if you look at hip hop
come
music,
to that.
oh sorry,
Is that?
There's Nigel.
When you think about it, there's certain things that if I were to say without music, you'll be like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
Bruv, are you mad? Like, are you okay in your head? But once music goes on top of it, it's like, that's why I love what JP said 10 times. And Marvin put the cherry on top another 10 times, because music is like that secret card that gets every message wherever that message is intended to go. So imagine I'm the enemy, or I am an enemy, and I want to infiltrate an organization or an institution or a color or a people. If I want to sabotage a nation, if I want to neutralize a nation, and I want to get them thinking a certain way, music is undeniably the #1 tool for that purpose. That's why they buy out our people. They pay for their house and their crib and their livestock. Just make sure you're rapping about this content. Like NWA, we know the story for those that know their research on music, right? From the get-go, right? From ragtime to hip-hop to blues and jazz. We're talking about New Orleans, right? That was the motherland, to Haiti, right? You know, in Mirror in Haiti, right, of voodoo and witchcraft, and we're dealing with a genre where we're not smashing the genre musically, but the agenda of that time, it was those things. So imagine now, back to what JP was saying, right? He touched on, you know, the spiritual side of stuff when you're dealing with, you know, faith-based religions. And, you know, one thing that stuck out to me was that, you know, Shola, that I've done a lot of work in, you know, churches like worldwide. Like I'll go to many different countries doing the speak and stuff. And one thing I realized is that young people that, and this is not a religion thing, but just giving you an example, a lot of young people, I'll tell them, don't come with this, I want to go to, they attend all the concerts, JP, but if it's nothing to do with music, they're not going. Do you know what I mean? So I let them young people know that that's where music has a negative, even in faith-based places, where they're only interested because it's music. Like, and if it's not got music in it, I'm not on it. Same thing with the street life. There's a lot of guys that are on the street, they'll sing the raps, they'll dance to the, you know, to the lyrics. Don't need to get gassed by it. But if you're really, really about that life, you don't need music to make you anything. If you're bad, then you're bad, without music or not, right? If you're on gyal, I don't need Genuine really to get me in the mood, car man's just on gyal, like that's what I want. You know what I mean? So my point is, there's an agenda, like what JP said, and music is one of the best boats. Music is like a ship to get, you know, cargo across to the mines. So you know, do your research, right? The reason why music is so powerful, because we've I know we know it, but we have to say it specifically, like in biology, right? The reason why it's so powerful, guys, right, is because your arms and your legs and your mouth and your eyes and your ears, that's you know, they're organs. They are servants of the brain, right? You go the way you go where you go because your brain did that. It's not like body first, it's brain first. So music affects the brain more than every single part of your body. Music directly goes to the brain, right? It bypasses the conscious mind, right? So you can catch the words that are in your language, but it bypasses the conscious mind, and it rests in the subconscious mind. Now the subconscious mind is like, it's not a place of decision making. That just goes in. It goes in, like, regardless. So man's in Zara and they're playing certain music, because I've researched music for years. They are playing music. Like, okay, do you guys know, Shola, right? There are professors, the colleges, like the Jesuits study this, right? So you got music professors in the Jesuit colleges that are studying the brain and how music affects it. So when a kid's in a shop, right, and they hear certain music, they start crying for certain toys. Right? There are actual bodies, multi-millionaires, like billionaires, that pump in to music, knowing it gets the sell, right? So we're dealing with as JP said, young minds. So my point is this, Shola, right? No matter how powerful music is, we got to get to the place where we can use it to our advantage.
Definitely.
Where music shouldn't be detrimental to us. Right. It should boost us. That's like what JP said, right? What are you watching? What are you listening to? That's on you. You can't be raped. How long are you gonna get raped? Where you're just flippantly listening to music, but just because you like it, but you don't mind at the effect. That's not how I move, Shola. So my last thing I'll say, Shola, right, is that the subconscious mind, right, has to be protected. So, you know, that's who we are. Good. You might say, yeah, but I don't like this, I don't like that. It doesn't go like that. You can say that until you're blue in the face. It's the subconscious mind where our habits lie. That's where your roots are. So who you are always comes out. Prime example in closing, my last experience, I did this, JP. I was on my way to help someone mentally. My friend had a mental breakdown and he needed me to be his peace. Imagine this, JP, you know, I've changed my life now, but I'm driving just like Venice, I'm driving and I'm late. So I'm late now, right? So I'm driving. And bearing in mind there's no music. I'm talking about just the mind. My mind is built up already, right? And a car is in my way and I overtake him and he chases me down, my guy. He chases me down and I'm like, oh, we haven't got time for this, man. We haven't got time for this, man. I know that I'm a changed man and you know, I'm a believer in that, but I'm not, I'm still not an idiot though. I'm not, like, you don't chase me down, man, because automatically my mind started remembering a lot of things that I put away. And I started to get into that mode of, so what I did, I pulled over, you know, I didn't even, listen, I pulled over and I got out the car and I said, yo, come out the car. The guy came out the car, it was a black guy, and he comes rushing to me. And automatically, JP, you know, automatically, something came over me and said, Andrew, you got a daughter, you're married, yeah? If you go down, it's a wrap. Automatically, JP, I made that choice on my own. You know what I mean? That was me. My mind is at a level now where even in the thicket of the pain and the mess, I was able to back off. And I said to the brother, I said, yo, my man, we ain't going to do this today, you know? I said, we ain't going to do this today, you know? I said, they want us to do this. Here's my point before I let this go, I realized, JP, that even though music has kind of lost this effect on me, the damage was done, JP. So I needed, that just alerted me, yo, Fuller, you still need to build your conscious mind and your subconscious mind back.
That's right.
Even though you're not listening to drill, you're not listening to Genuine no more, your mind's been tarnished. So guess what I did now? I realized, Shola, like what JP said, I had to chop off some musics that I thought weren't affecting me, but they were. They were. Just because I wasn't in a gang anymore. So I'm listening to bad music, JP, you know, but because I'm not in a gang, I'm thinking, no, it's not affecting me. It affected me in that road rage incident. You get me?
Yeah.
So what I did now, I'm careful to what I listen to. Even if it's not faith-based music and it's a music that's nothing to do with anything, it's still got to be wholesome. It's got to feed me. I'm not listening to no underage gal business or no sex up business and some 10 gal business. I'm not listening to that. Why am I listening to a brother saying I'm going to rob man? I don't promote that. If I don't promote the content, I cannot listen to it. If my daughter cannot listen to it, then I can't listen to it. Right?
Good point.
Yeah, man. That's what I'll say, Sean.
Andrew, no respect. Listen, Andrew, what you said, I mean, again, this is why we're here, guys. Look, it's to not just to kind of stir up a subject, but to give a kind of positive release. You know what I mean? So anybody watching this, anybody hearing it, you know what I mean? We can get the positive outcomes, can't we?
But what's this, Shola? So right now, I'll tell you the battle that a lot of people are experiencing right now as we're talking. Yeah, we know this.
Yeah,
but now we've become addicted to these impulses. So the thought of releasing this music, I can see it. I can see people's faces. It's what's hurting. Do you understand? Now, we can go even deeper now with this. And we're going to make it about black people and black music.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that we are the biggest perpetrators of killing a black person that looks exactly like you in our music. It's not a coincidence. Love to call the women bitches.
I was gonna come
and have multiple women. Now, hey, we're at a point that I'm sorry, ladies, I have to say it. We've got people like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, that women are rallying behind, saying, yeah, they're representing us. Have you listened to what these women are talking? Hey, I had clients. I've never heard what these women used to tell. I had clients. Listen, yeah, and they put on Megan. I said, huh? Now I'm looking like a granddad. I'm saying, hey, is this what we do now? No, she's talking everything. No, Charlotte, she's talking everything she does. Saying, listen, don't even come to me unless the thing is, you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't come to me because I can't feel it. I say, Now, what's funny? You see the ripple effects now. So I'll just use women. Now, women are choosing, I'm going to carry myself slack, but it's not called slack no more. It's called pop. So if you understand what pop is called popular culture. So it's pop now. It's pop to show everything. So you can go on Instagram and you're thinking, yo, this thing's porn. No, this is popular culture. You show the back. Yeah, you know the every girl knows the poses.
This is pop. Hold on, JP. So, Angela, you there? Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, because as I said, we're having a little sort of banter about this, and the pop that JP is related to now. Is this where you were coming from? When we were sort of,
yeah, and
okay.
I mean, young people. I mean, I left pop culture from a long time ago because I like sort of roots and reggae and music that gives me. I like all sorts of genres of music, but I like something that's giving me some sort of triggering some happy feeling or emotion,
right,
and making me feel uplifted. So that's where, when I listen to music, that's where I go. But I realize that the pop culture today, what is out there, like you were saying about these, the hot young things that are, to me, I don't watch them, I don't idolize them, and I just think they're taking us to, what is it, hell in a handbasket, because if the children are following that, nah, I don't agree with it. But then sometimes I think my views are like old-fashioned, and like you said,
it's not old-fashioned, Angela. It's just you know what I mean. It's morals. I mean, we hit on the morals thing last week. It's just, you know what I mean. It's a moral and what we're feeding down. 1 second, Angela. I'm going to come back to you. Kemi, you there? Because Kemi works with young people as well. I just want to hear what she's got to say there. Kemi, you there?
No.
She's gone. Okay. All right. Sorry, Angela.
Yeah, and I was just going to quickly say as well, I think it's like there's a time and a place for everything as well. So I know recently there was a debate about people twerking in all sorts of weird and wonderful places, and I just think music can sort of direct you to do things, but you do have your own mind, and you've got your own mind, so you don't have to go with the feeling. You can recognize, okay, I'm in a restaurant, maybe now's not the right time.
Sure.
You can do that.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. Key points again. All right. John, before I go to come back to Tim, John, you about this, sir? Yeah. You are. What's your take on this, John? I mean, you've heard.
Lot. I'm from the Michael Jackson.
Say again. You're from
the Michael Jackson era.
Michael Jackson era.
Okay.
I remember music videos. It first started with Thriller, then moved on to high budget production use and so forth. But it's completely changed, and I do work in a school. What JP's been saying is sad to say that it's just getting even more cruder, and sadly what was maybe happening at 15, 16, kids who are 11 years who are doing it explicitly in school, I think. And the culture hasn't stopped until it's not the...
You're breaking up, John. I can just about hear you. Yeah, slightly
not
better.
Just, yeah, sorry. It's not just the black girls doing it. There's now sort of English doing it, Asian doing it, twerking and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. What happened hidden behind the scenes, God only knows. But a 17-year-old daughter goes through this. So, it affects all of us as parents, as youngsters, all from different generations. But
sure,
it's coming back to morals and values. We can try telling the kids, but it's really powerful. It's very difficult to sort of guide them away from it.
Sure.
And you know, now the kids would get quite violent. We're talking about young ones. We see it in schools. Youngsters actually watching this explicit material on YouTube within the schools.
Okay. All right, John. You said John. You said a couple of points there. I think we've got some reaction. I'm seeing about 3 or 4 hands up. I don't know what you've got. I don't know what you've said there that's kind of tipped the balance here. Jade.
Yeah, because he was saying about trying to keep our children like away from certain music. But I was just gonna say there's a lot of, even like within institutions like schools and nurseries and stuff like that, like I've even realized that certain nursery rhymes are also, there's the meaning behind certain nursery rhymes, if you get what I'm trying to say. So it's hard to protect your children. Do you get what I mean? Because I don't know, I can't remember, but there's like even like Bar Black Sheep. I heard that nursery rhyme itself is quite racist and stuff like that. So there's only, you know, it's difficult to basically, you know, protect your children from certain things, because us ourselves sometimes I don't know how do I explain it, but we don't often know what the meaning is behind certain songs. So yeah, that was just my point.
Okay, all right. Nana.
Yeah, Uncle Sola. Basically, I just want to pick up from what Andrew and JP said, because what they said, when you think about it, I think they've really unlocked a lot of things, and I'm going to put it down to, I'm going to call it, say, you know, the picture of the iceberg, and you've got water, and you've got what's underneath.
Yeah.
If you think about what they both went and said about music, and I mean, JP mentioned about Megan Thee Stallion, the negative connotation that it brings out when people are not fully aware of it, the influence that it actually has, you know, on us. I mean, even in terms of relationships. So on top, in terms of the iceberg, it looks all hunky dory. Yes, we're taking ownership of what we're doing, but on the surface, and I'll go back to what Andrew said about the brain, it affects your grey matter. It really, really, and people don't really think about it. So I think what they said is quite influential about music, because you know, even what he said about the agenda, the undertone behind it. No one really thinks about undertone. You don't. You hear about what the music's saying. What is the music telling you? You know what I mean? Why is it within our community, as what JP and Andrew said, why is it within our community? We're talking about having multiple women, shooting up another guy. You know what I mean? There's something underneath in the water that's deep below the deep, we're not really thinking about, and there's a big influence on top of the young people. And possibly young people, like a sponge. So when it comes to music, they'll latch onto that. Is it positive? Is it negative? You know what I mean? Is it constructive? And I agree with what Andrew is saying about, you know, if he was angry that day, he said to the guy, you know, we're not going to do. He had to make a conscious decision, and the fact that he's saying, I'm going to cut out certain type of genre of music that I don't think is constructive. I think Jay just put about WAP, you know, and JP mentioned now WAP. What Megan Thee Stallion said, she said WAP is about us owning our sexuality and using our bodies for sex. Like, she said that. That's a big movement. A lot of, I'm not saying us here, but a lot of women follow that. They think, well, if she's taking ownership of her body, then I am. But if you look at the video, it's quite derogatory. It's quite negative. It's very much a warped, distorted kind of view. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I think what JP and Andrew said is very powerful, but I'm always going to relate it back to iceberg theory. On top, it's all very hunky-dory, but when you go down to the bottom, below, it's not really. It's not, you know, so that's just my take on it. Yeah, just to put a bit of theory into it. But
all right. Okay, thanks for that, Nana. Good stuff there. Marvin, you back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, basically, like I believe where we're going wrong. This is where we're going wrong. Yeah.
Speak up, please, Marvin.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, like, because we're so lost here, and when I think so lost is because we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing about ourselves. The more that we know about ourselves, the more hard it is to penetrate us. Yeah? Like, we're quick. Sometimes they might not see it. They just see the money. They're not seeing the damage. At some point they do. And then you come to that decision now where you're compromising. Right? Do I continue? Do I continue with the destruction? That's where the damaging of your soul comes from. Now, we know that reason why they pump the money into. They want you to want to do. You understand? We've got boys that live in the sticks and gone Cambridge and that wanted to do roads. You understand? It's influence. You just want to do it. You understand? Like, they pumped it into, and we're lost. We need to educate ourselves about who we are.
That's right.
And not just us, the world, because they think we ain't contributed or done nothing in society, in this society that's been built. But once you start realizing what we've done and what we've added, we are a big thing for you to realize that we're more than this. We're more than flinging up your back here and telling them to go and all that. You understand? Yeah. And on top of that, I heard my girl don't even let her daughter listen to them tunes there. You understand? So they already have compromised. They already know what they're doing. You get me? They know what they're doing is wrong.
Okay. All right, Marvin, thanks for that. I mean, and you took quite a few words off what I was going to say anyway. I mean, look, why is it so easy for us to be paying into it? Look, we know what you just said there. Okay, they know what they're doing. Yeah. We kind of say that we're smart and we know, but we don't. You know what I mean? Certain quarters of us don't know. Obviously, why are we being influenced so much by it? Yeah. If we, just this little sort of grouping we've got here today, we've said some real hard, strong points that obviously makes a lot of sense. So why we want something going out off this now that's gonna look. We're not gonna be naive enough to know that it's gonna change the world. You know what I mean? But it's a lone voice in the wind, flagging something up, isn't it, JP?
I think what it is, before, because I know Andrew's been waiting for a little while.
Sorry, Andrew.
And Marvin just touched on it.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the men's meeting. We've all become lazy. That's the truth. So Andrew touched on something that I touched on.
Yeah.
I value my mind more now.
Right.
So I select, because I know I am what I think. I now select what I let in. But when I'm lazy, most people come back from work, what do? Sit in front of the television. And whatever the television
is beaming out, you're soaking up.
It tells you a vision.
Yeah.
So whatever vision it gives you, it's going to influence whatever comes out. So we're all talking, we're conscious. But if you go through every one of our playlists, the madness. Because of laziness. Because I can't be bothered to guard my mind. I can't be bothered to guard my soul and my spirit because it's work. Do you understand? So now what happens? We know music is so influential. We learn things in song as a child. A, B, C, D. So we put it in, that's how much it influences you. So we can't now say as an adult, it only affects the young mind. No, that's laziness.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, you said, what do we now do about it? I always tell people, before I can choose to change you, shut up, before I can change anyone on the screen, change myself. Problem I find with our community, we love talking outwardly, but we don't do the work on ourselves. Do we select, Jade said that is hard as a parent. No, I listen, I'm watching what the kids are doing. Hey, come here, what's that program? When I see a behavior in a child, I look at the cartoons they're watching. I see one cartoon called Loud House. And I said, in Loud House, the dad is a waste man. the child walk all over. So the girls try to walk. Yo, Loud House is banned. Now that looks mad. Can't watch Harry Potter in my house because I don't want them learning about witches and wizards and thinking this is fun. Now people say, nah, Angela, that's a bit extreme, bro. No, because when I'm busting shots at people, and I know from a young age, I practiced with my toy gun at a young age. Every one of us in here know the mechanics of a gun. Because from a young age, you practiced with the revolver, cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers. Do you understand? So now when we start becoming selective and we start guarding ourselves, we start, I'm going to be honest, everyone I say this, for the first time my life gets directed into a certain way. I choose to take out certain vocabulary. I don't swear. Now, I don't say it because I'm better than anyone. I just said to myself, with all these millions of words, can I not express myself with better words?
So it's choice. What we're talking about is the word of your choice. Yeah.
Radio's on, turn off the radio station. Do you understand? That video's on. What is this? What they said? Well, turn that on. But because the truth of the matter, we've become lazy. We like to be fed things. We're fed our information through this. I love what Nana said. It changes even the way we look at beauty and we look at society. So now, if a girl ain't showing certain things, certain man go, nah, that's not the one for me. Still, you know. Do you understand? It affects the way we dress. Affects the way we carry ourselves, the way we speak. We repeat the words in the songs when we're speaking to each other. Whack. What kind of crap is that? What is that? But we repeat these words in our vocabulary now. And what happens, we are going to get the result of the agenda. It's not coincidence, the black community, very influential community.
Exactly.
Revolutionized a lot of things. Now, the thing with the black community, you give us anything, we take it and we multiply it.
That's right.
A woman talked about twerking. So if you understand, twerking became dangerous when white people started doing it because it was meant for the black community to sexualize them. So we've been whining and bashment dancing
way back.
Never ever was it a problem. When the
Good
white
point.
person started twerking, now because what's happened, it's left the community it was made to destroy. That's now why the rap, the hip hop, that's why it always changes. That's why we have drill now. Because actually now we need to change it because rap has got too big now. So we need another new agenda. So to destroy it, we call that one drill. Now, when drill outgrows and it gets into the mainstream,
next sequence again.
You get the next thing now because the agenda. Please, I'm not a conspiracy person, but there is a direct agenda to destroy. Now, music is used as a great tool in this destruction.
Okay.
And if we're not lazy, we can actually.
I'm gonna hold you on that point there, JP, because no, it's cool. No, it's not about that. It's not about it. It's going out. We've got to be real. I think we're gonna use this for the next one. Andrew, can you come in, sir? We're gonna finish up with a report from Andrew and Venice, and then we're gonna have the agenda bit. I think we're gonna have that as a topic for next week. Yeah, but Andrew, please,
Yeah, man, I've just liked this. If I'm on any Zoom chat or whatever it is, I always do this, man. Marvin and Nana, was it Nana? And JP again. Your points were super sound, and it shows that we're not all lost. Like the outlook is bad and that, but if we've got men and women that are still thinking like that, you know, there is hope out there, man. And I mean that, you know. So all I would say, guys, is, man, I try to make things mad simple. If you got like an iPhone and the iPhone's just been bought, how much apps are on the iPhone? There's none. It's a brand new iPhone, right? So if you touch the cursor and you turn it on, if you want to play a game, go on Google, you can't do that. Now, that iPhone, according to psychologists, right, is basically the best way to describe the mind of a child. And how it works is you have to download an app. That's how it goes. Like, see the brain like an iPhone. And when it's new, there's no apps. Like my daughter, like I experienced this, just like many of you that are parents. I experienced this to prove this factual. My little girl didn't know anything. She didn't know anything. But 1 to 7, the Jesuits' #1 line is that, and they say, give me the boy from 1 to 7, and I will show you the man. The Jesuits say, I don't need to know what the brother is doing at 14 or 15 or 18 or 21. If I have his mind from 1 to 7, it's a wrap.
7 years. Yeah.
It's a wrap. Once again, it's a mind thing. So in this, why I rate what JP's saying, he's not, what's the word when they say he's not pulling back his blows, he's just giving it hard. And let me tell you why he's giving it hard, right? It's because he knows it's not always an opinion thing. When you get ultra deep, right, some things are facts and we just choose to debate them. We just choose to argue them. But when you know, and you talk to someone like a psychologist or a psychotherapist or, you know, someone that does a psychodynamic and, you know, they deal with these things, right? They are talking these things like, no, biology says JP's right. It's not an opinion. So if I am in a broken home, JP, bro, bare arguments, bro, just bare shouting, I can't see love. The Jesuits say 1 to 7, I am down. So I've downloaded hate.
Thank you.
That's in my subconscious mind now, by the way. Whether you disagree or not, it's not an opinion. That's how the brain works. That's why when kids go to school and they fail at English and maths, especially young black boys, it's because of the broken home pandemic. That, you know, it's like they've mashed our communities down. So mamas are at work so late, dads are at work so late. There's no one in the home. So kids are burdened. They're burdened. They're stressed. They're very depressed. So when they go to school, they fail at school. When they come out of school, they go do drugs and they're on the roads. And now we build our culture. So when the rappers are doing their rap thing, look at the rapper's story. He's coming from that home. He's coming from that place. So his thing's on a mad thing. The girls that are promoting sex early, look where they're coming from. And why I'm saying this, right? We're asking for the solution, Shola, right? Only because I've looked at this for many years, Shola. Not like I know everything, but this is one of my key parts of study, the mind and the family home, right? We cannot seek to change this or start the change from adulthood. We can't be like, let's go to the secondary schools or the colleges and try and get them right. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. It's first understanding, and this is a real life story. Who remembers K7 back in the day? K7. Who remembers the song Come Baby Come?
Yeah.
Now watch this, JP. JP, I laugh, JP. That's it, JP, bro. Imagine JP, bro. The subconscious mind is so powerful that, do you know, before I even knew who K7 was, before I even knew the video of Come Baby Come, or in primary school, I remember I came home one day at the age of 5 or 6, and it was playing on the TV. If you've seen the video, do your research, right? It's an old video. It was a man, there was a woman on the car bonnet, and she had a belly top on. And one of the guys was licking her belly. Do you know, guys, right? That video is what set me off sexually as a kid. So that video, I go to school now, and what are the man them saying in the school? Primary, come baby, baby, come. Like everyone's singing that song. And I'm like, yeah, come baby, come baby. So man's just repeating that in my head, repeating it in my head. Why was it so easy to grab me though, Shola? Because my home did not set the standards of protecting my mind. So my mom and dad, I love them to bits, but they were going through their hell. They weren't able to teach me what a man looks like, what a woman looks like. You know, what is morality? You know, what's wrong? You know, what shouldn't I do? How do I treat a woman? What shouldn't I say? Because I didn't learn that in the home, I learned that in the school, right? And most of the kids in school are from homes where morality in the home ain't really a real thing. So I always say, right, if we lose them from 1 to 7, right, if their minds are not in a place where they can, you know, gauge what's right, they can, you know, no, you're not meant to touch me there, you know. There are kids that I work with, JP, you know, They are going home. So there's a kid in my school, no names mentioned, obviously, safeguard and all of that. Bro, she's dating her mom's boyfriend, bro. What are you telling me, bro? Like, my point is this. That is happening. That's not new.
Right.
Our young kids are broken.
Yeah.
So when there's a guy saying, sleep with me, and I don't even like you, how about that? You are a hoe. They don't mind no more. They don't mind. They don't mind. There's a guy now that will stab someone. He's not even bad, but it doesn't matter no more. Because the music, right, is not making them necessarily do it. I'm not going to say the music is making them do it, but it's a heavy source of influence. It's heavily, it's super hard to fight against that music when your mind ain't strong.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? There's a saying that says, Shola, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Right? So if I want to get this generation, I'm not, they say, if you wanna, you know, what did they say about the books? They said about our black people, they said, if you don't want black people to know about it, put it in a book.
Yeah.
If you want them to know about it, put it in music though. That's how mad it is. Like, it's like, so my thing, in short, from young, my thing is from young. So my profession is youth work. That's what I started. But now I've gone into adolescence. Parents and children. If I can get the parents, then it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, we gotta not see it as things like knife and gun issues and sex and, you know, immoral. Like, it's not even about that. It's not about the kids.
Yeah, they're just the symptoms, Andrew.
Like, you know, they're just running from pain.
Yeah.
Every addiction is simply, that's right. Every addiction is simply an escape from pain.
Yeah.
Everybody that's doing a bad thing right now in an addictive state, they're running from some sort of pain. That's all it is. If we handle the root issue, they're not going to need to open their legs and promote whack and promote drill. You know what I mean? But that's my thing, Shola, for the night.
All right, Drew. No, bless up, man. Good, strong points again. Look, we're gonna round up a second of this. Just to get a view from Venice, please. We've got a couple of topics we're gonna land and put on the table for next week, though. Obviously, the agenda is one of them, the agenda of music. But Venice, can you just give us something just to close off based on what we've heard tonight? I mean, we've gone into a few good areas, strong areas. Go for it.
Yeah, I agree with what Andrew was saying and stuff, because I felt like when I used to be younger, especially like really, really young, my mum used to play a lot of music. The things that I should have probably have like listened to.
What kind of music? What kind of music was she playing?
A lot of type of music, like music that like you'll grind and wind or whatever. So I used to do all of that, especially like in my younger, like in my early 20s and stuff like that. That used to be a thing that I used to love doing, and blah blah blah. But I think as I get older now, it's just like that's not the type of person I am. But yeah, but I just wanted to say that I feel like we probably need to start listening to things a bit more positive just to have a positive impact on our lives.
Yeah,
so, like,
definitely.
If it's not going to have a positive impact on our lives, then there's no point of us listening to it.
Okay. All right, cool. Look, guys, we're going to round up. Thanks for all your input, strong input. I think the basic message is, and I think this is what we've always tried to bring out on our forums, is all about the root cause. What's the root cause? What's the foundational issues that bring out the symptoms? Am I right, JP? Yeah, we always talk about the root element. And we've gone there again tonight on this. So we're going to come back again next week, hopefully with no glitches like we did today. But thanks. Appreciate your patience. And guys, let's go with this. Get I think there's been a lot of positivity out of this night, hasn't there, JP? In terms of anyone that listens in, I think they're going to take something away from it. You know what I mean? Going forward. Even us listen to what we're saying. Yeah? Okay. All right. Okay, guys, look, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Back next week. We're going to hear more impacting stuff from here at Real Talk. It's us signing out. Have a good evening. Thank you.